So now let us move further for the next sutra, which is the sixth sutra of Sadhanapad. So sixth sutra talks about the asmita or the ahankar. So he says Drig Darshan Shaktiyor Ekatmate Asmita. So Drig Darshan Shaktiyor Ekatmata Eva Asmita. So what is the meaning of this? Drig Shakti or Darshan Shakti. दृक शक्ति और दर्शन शक्ति का एक स्वरूप जैसा भान होना अस्मिता क्लेश है. सो दृक शक्ति इज द शक्ति और द पावर टू सी एनीथिंग, एंड दर्शन इज दैट विच हैज टू बी सीन. सो दृक इज योर eyes and darshan is what your eyes are seeing. So drik darshan darshan shakti or ekatmate vasmita. So basically there is a fusion of your drik shakti and darshan shakti in this. So पुरुष जो है वह दृष्टा है, चित्त दिखाने वाला उसका एक करण है, एक टूल है. पुरुष चैतन्य है, चित्त जड़ है. तो पुरुष जो है परम पुरुष परमेश्वर या आत्मा जो है वह चैतन्य है, और जो चित्त है वो जड़ है क्योंकि वह शरीर का अंग है. पुरुष जो है वह क्रिया रहित है. देयर इज नो एक्शन इनसाइड द पुरुषा, बट चित्त प्रसवधर्मी अर्थात क्रिया वाला है. सो पुरुषा इज फुल ऑफ एक्शंस, इट प्रोड्यूसेस. पुरुष केवल है, पुरुष शाश्वत है, ही इज प्योर एंड ही इज द ओनली. चित्ता त्रिगुणमय है. सो चित्ता इज फुल ऑफ त्रिगुणास, और ऑल द त्रिगुणास आर प्रेजेंट इन चित्ता. Now पुरुष अपरिणामी है. सो पुरुषा इज अपरिणामी, चित्त परिणामशील है. पुरुष स्वामी है और चित्त उसकी स्व मिल्कियत है. सो पुरुष कौन है? पुरुष इज द मास्टर, ही इज द स्वामी, एंड चित्त इज वर्किंग अंडर दैट स्वामी. इस प्रकार ये दोनों अत्यंत भिन्न हैं. लाइक दिस बोथ आर बेसिकली डिफरेंट, पर अविद्या के कारण दोनों में भेद की प्रतीति जाती रहती है. But because of avidya, Purush and Chit, the differentiation is lost. And when Purusha or the Chitta, they lose their differentiation, then that identification becomes one. That becomes Asmita. So Asmita is the Purushas identify, if you will, with the Buddhi. The seeming oneness of the nature of the seer, the witness self and the tool of seeing, the mind is the I notion or the problematic possessive I rather than unproblematic I-ness of Yoga Sutra. So Asmita is basically identifying oneself with the tool of what is seen and what is to be seen. So the body, the mind, the acts and the existence are all entwined with the sense of I am, Asmita. So body, your mind, the actions of the mind and the existence of all are interlinked. And that makes you with the feeling of I-ness. You believe that you are performing anything, you are doing anything. When the internal awareness, which stands for the ultimate reality within the humanity, known as Asmita, manifests itself via the body, buddhi and senses. So this I amness is always present when Asmita manifests itself through the body, buddhi and the senses you have. Asmita then is a consciousness that associates with the Purusha, with its vehicle, which is senses as well as buddhi. So Asmita is basically a consciousness that always it is associated with the Purusha, with its vehicle, which is the special senses, buddhi and including your chitta. The conscious mind is the Atman or the Purusha. Purusha possesses the ability to see, think and hear. Nevertheless, the buddhi and the senses receive the capability from the Purusha. We refer to this idea of merging together is called Asmita. So basically merging of your buddhi with the Purusha, or merging of your Chitta with the Purusha, or merging of your senses with the Purusha, or losing your knowledge to discriminate these two, is your asmita or I-ness or ahankar. So the mistaken imposition of the natures of the mind, the body and their belongings, and the relationships upon unadulterated witness self is ignorance. Similarly, the timeless reality of the nature of the witness self is impelled upon the mind, body and their belongings and the relationships. The idea of mutual transference involves thinking that the mind, the body, the possessions and the relationships should always last for longer time. So because a Purusha always sees the world through the eyes of the Chitta, with the help of the Buddhi, with the help of the special senses, everything. When Purusha identifies itself, basically it is not the Purusha, when Chitta identifies, or there is a union between these two, automatically you will see there is a asmita. There is a asmita, and that asmita will be in the form of ahankar. So the mind body positions and the relation should somehow last forever. We always think that we should never die, or the people those with whom we are connected, whatever we see and whatever we are seeing, we always feel that we are connected to them and we don't want to lose it. We want them to be permanent in our lives. So that particular thing is again a asmita. I am time bound, limited and incomplete like this body and mind. This is the basic error that gives rise to all the problems. It is the basic viewpoint that all the people are born with. It is not just a simple cognitive error. A lifetime of yoga is necessary to realign oneself with this incorrect orientation. So this is an incorrect orientation of the individual, and this has to be aligned again with the practice of yoga. If you don't align yourself with the practice of yoga, naturally you are going to suffer all your life, because asmita or ahankar will never allow you to grow in your life, and asmita and ahankar will attract lot of problems, lot of health issues with you, and ultimately what will happen, you will suffer alone in the life. So this is about asmita.